Hello, my dear students. I am Mukesh Tilwani, Assistant Professor in MLB Textile and Engineering College, Bhilwara. Today, I am going to discuss about the permanent die casting. It is a one type of casting of a special type of casting. Uh, in previous lecture, I have discussed about the investment casting and slush casting, and also I had discussed about the centrifugal casting. Uh, The fourth special type of casting is permanent die casting, which is also called as patternless casting. In this process, permanent mold known as die is generally used to create a component for low melting point materials like plastic, aluminum, zinc, magnesium, and lead. In case of plastic component, the process is popularly known as the injection molding machine. With the help of injection molding machine, we cast the plastic products, which is also called as the permanent die casting process, which is a portable machine used to create a small complicated component in large numbers. This is a schematic diagram of the injection molding machine, in which we these are the plastic material are of rice size, uh, like a rice shape. uh, we put in the plastic rice in the funnel. Then this is a cylinder, and this is a piston with the help of and this is a lever, and this is a heating coil. These are the heating coils, and this is nozzle. With the help of nozzle, and this is a die. With the help of nozzle, we put the plastic die into the die for the casting process. First, this plastic rice is come in the cylinder, and this plastic rice is melted. After melting, if we up the piston, the nozzle will open. Nozzle after no, If the nozzle is open, then this melted material, plastic rice material, is filled in the die. Uh, after uh, after the After filling, we give the pressure to the die so that the product can be formed. Even in steel and cast iron can be casted using this process. Only the alteration that now the same steel die is coated with the ceramic on the internal surface. The process may be there are two type of process for permanent die casting. One is the cold chamber, another one is the hot chamber. With the help of hot chamber and the chamber, we do this type of processes, casting process. One is the cold chamber die casting, another one is the hot chamber die casting. In cold chamber die casting, the melt melting furnace is the separate unit. In this, melting furnace is the separate unit. uh, in this cold chamber process, the furnace is of the is separated with the process schematic diagram, and the molding machine is another unit. There are the two separate portion. One is the molding machine, and another one is the melting furnace in the cold chamber die process. The molten metal is brought into the ladle. It is being poured in the funnel, and the molding machine is for funnel of the molding machine for the further processes. This is the cold chamber process. In this is a ladle. With the help of ladle, we put the molten metal into the feeder tube. This is a die. we uh, we do the molten metal, give the heat to the molten metal in separate furnace. After that we put the with the help of ladle we put the molten metal into the feeder, and uh, this is a piston. With the help of piston we push the molten metal, and this is a nozzle. With the help of nozzle, this if we push the molten metal, the nozzle is open, and from the nozzle the molten metal goes to the die chamber. In the die, it after the solidification we get the final product. While in case of the hot chamber die casting, the melting furnace is an internal integrated with the molding machine. In cold chamber die casting, the molten metal is poured into the feeder tube in required quantity, and the piston is pushed to the force to molten metal inside the cavity of the die. What are the merits of the cold chamber? First, very fine thick component can be casted. Very high surface finish and tolerance can be achieved due to the permanent metallic cavity, which is die. Mass production can be done due to the long life of the die. Here, the products are of the small size, therefore we get the mass production in this process. Better mechanical property can be achieved due to the force feeding. In this process, in permanent die casting process, we get the better mechanical properties like strength we get the high strength product as compared to the other casting processes. In case of mass production, it is very economic process. If we want to do the mass production, we prefer the permanent die casting process because this is an economic process. Some demerits are also there in for this process, which is it has the limited use of size of the casting. If the size of the casting is bigger, we cannot do casting with the help of permanent die casting process. And the melting point of material to be casted, melting point should be low. uh, the we can use the material for the casting which has the low melting point. It is not suitable for the all the material useful for the low melting point materials. This is a diagram of the hot chamber process. In the hot chamber process, the furnace is the internal part of the complete machine assembly of uh, the permanent die casting process. Here, in the furnace, with the help of heating coil, the molten metal is heated. After heating, if we open this gate with the help of piston rod, the molten metal filled into the feeder tube. After feeding, we push the piston. Then the molten metal pass through the nozzle and go to the die, and after the solidification we get the final product. In the chamber process, what is the work of the piston in hot chamber process? uh, to give the passage to the feeder tube, to close the opening of the furnace. These opening These two are the piston is used for the filling the molten metal to the feeder tube and push the push the pushing to the piston. The molten metal goes to the die. After getting solidification, we get the final product. Thank you so much for today. I'm closing my lecture. In next lecture, I will discuss about the CO2 casting and continuous casting process. Thank you so much.